Hi, good morning. I have nothing to do with selling or the companies, but this is what I'm using and I think it is useful. You could make it even in the food which we eat. But the problem with the food and the plant is now and the soil are deficient in minerals, vitamin and polyphenols because what they use on the soil is poisonous and it kills the microbiome of the soil. Microbiome meaning the bacteria and viruses and fungi in the soil which help the plant to make the food. Now, it's called glutathione. Glutathione is an antioxidant which the body produces in a natural way, the mitochondria in the cell. It produces antioxidant. And what is oxidant? It is the oxygen species, ROS, the oxygen in the mitochondria on the inner membrane of the mitochondria. It gives electron. And there will be gradient on the inner membrane of the mitochondria. On the other side is the proton, which is positive, and here is negative. So there is a gradient across the membrane, and this will help the mitochondria to use oxygen to burn the nutrient. And from that, it produces ATP, which is the energy. It is the life energy. And this is through protein, which is found on the inner membrane of the mitochondria, antioxidant. Now, the better than the glutathione is the melatonin hormone, which is produced also by the mitochondria in every cell locally as an antioxidant and is stronger than the glutathione. Melatonin is the same hormone which helps us to sleep in the night, and is produced by the pineal gland, which is a small gland in the brain. The same hormone, but the timing is different. The melatonin in the night, it helps us to sleep, and it is also antioxidant, and it helps the cell in its function during the night. But they discover now that the melatonin is produced in every cell, local in every cell, which help the cell to be healthy and to clear the oxidant, because these reactive oxygen species, reactive, why they are reactive? Because they lose their electrons in the mitochondria. So, and they become unstable, and they become irritable, and they want to get the electron. So they attach themselves to the protein inside the cell, and the protein is folded in a special way, in 3D structure, and they cause misfolding of the protein inside the cell. I'm talking at nanoscale. Nano means you cannot see it with the electron microscopy, and you cannot see it in a blood test and in the X-rays. You have to enlarge the cell millions of times by electron microscopy. This is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the origin of the diseases. All diseases is inside the cell, and it is related to the energy inside the cell and production and the function of the cell. Life is energy. If you are healthy, you will have energy. If you are unhealthy, you will have fatigue, tired, because your cell and your mitochondria is not functioning well. Either you poison the cell with toxin, or you are deficient in essential nutrient, or you exposed to something toxin in the environment. And also unhealthy lifestyle. If you are not a rhythm with the biological clock, if you don't go outdoor to expose your eyes and skin to the sunlight and vitamin D, and you don't sleep, because biological rhythm of the cells is very important, because they have timetable to do work a certain time. And how the cells of the body and the brain knows this is daytime is by exposing our eyes and our skin to the early sunlight in the sunrise. And also during the day, This photon will give different signal to the brain, and this electrical signal will affect the proteins in different way. So the protein, they change their shape inside the cell to do different functions. Biology is amazing. Now, we come to the glutathione, which is antioxidant. Because the cell, if it has a lot of this ROS, or reactive oxygen species, it will be affected because it will affect the proteins inside the cell, and the protein is how the cells are functioning, and also it will affect the genes, the DNA, the RNA, because they are protein also. And this is how the damage happens. And all diseases, the cause of all diseases, mental disease, autoimmune disease, cancer, osteoarthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, thyroid problem. Okay. Now we come to the glutathione. This glutathione, if you read the ingredient, it is milk thistle. Milk thistle, it is very good for the liver. And there is an active substance which is called silimarin. And I know about this milk thistle because there is a lot of research in Germany. And it is wild plant. And the flower is purple and it is beautiful. And I brought the seed from Germany and I grow it in my garden. And I gave it to my neighbors. And Google it and see the flower. Okay, so this is a glutathione, green tea extract, which contains polyphenol, catechin, but the main thing is EGCG. This chemical in the green tea, I read yesterday in my book, Cancer is a Metabolic Disease. It stops the stem cells of the cancer. They are in the bone marrow from using glutamine as food. So it helps to prevent the spread of cancer cells and metastasis. Metastasis in cancer is the cause of death. Imagine. So this chemical is very important, and there are supplements of organic EGCG as extract, and also turmeric extract, curcumin. Curcumin is very important as anti-inflammatory, and also it is good for the microbiome in the gut, the bacteria, the viruses, and the fungi in the gut. And I know cancer case, now she is taking curcumin to prevent inflammation, because cancer is an inflammatory disease. Because there are a lot of foreign body, and there is a lot of fighting between the immune system, the healthy cells in the immune system, and the cancer cells. A lot of fighting and production of chemicals and cytokine and inflammation. That's why when we check C-reactive protein, CRP, it is high. And one of the markers that we are winning against cancer, it become lower. Sometimes CRP reach 350, and then come lower, and then come back again, and then come lower. So if it become 40, we are happy. But the normal should be 0.8 to 1. Okay? Then alpha-lipoic acid and selenium. Selenium is very important for the thyroid gland. And thyroid gland and active thyroxine 3, the hormone, is very important for the metabolism of all the body, of all the cells. And it is related to iodine, selenium, zinc, iron, and it needs a lot of nutrient for the thyroid to function well. And it is now epidemic of either hyper or hypo, meaning either the thyroid gland is working very aggressively, and hyper mean more or less, which is called Hashimoto, which is low thyroid function in the cell, in the cells of the thyroid gland. And also sometimes there are cysts, nodule, tumor, and all other problems. Thyroid is very important because it affects the metabolism of every cell. And metabolism means how the cells are functioning, and how the protein is produced, and how healthy are the protein, and how they are folded. The protein are folded in a three-dimensional shape. And if we have a problem, for example, eating a lot of sugar, it makes the protein sticky and it will become misfolded. The protein will not function. And the cell, if it doesn't function, it should die. There is a program which is called apoptosis. And there is another program which is called necrosis in the cells. And I am talking at the level of nanoscale, meaning the cell, what is going on inside the cell as the cause of all diseases. But it does not show in the blood test and the x-rays. This is too late. When you have high blood sugar, when you have high insulin, when you have hormone, and all the body, it works by hormones. And the hormones are protein. But some hormones are steroid. Sex hormone, testosterone, estrogen, progesterone, cortisol. Okay? So this is just to tell you how complex is the biology. And it is better and easier to follow the healthy lifestyle to prevent diseases and not to depend on tablets. Tablets, you could take it when it is too late, when you have the illness. It is very important because now you reach a stage you cannot help yourself. So modern medicine is great in surgery, is great in investigation, in x-rays. It's amazing. If we have acute trauma, for example, fracture arm or fracture hip, replacement of hip, replacement of knee joint. But why we do have these things? You have to look to the cause and to prevent it. Prevention is better than cure and easier. I hope you subscribe to my channel and give it to your friends because you are doing good to the society and to the community. It's not for me. It's for you. And thank you and goodbye.